Looking for the best gaming phones to suit your needs? In this video, we're diving into some of the top options available right now. Before we begin, don't forget to check out the links in the description to find the best deals within your budget. Let's get started. Number 5. Asus ROG Phone 9 Pro. If there's one phone that looks at regular flagship models and says, "That's cute," it's the ROG Phone 9 Pro. This is more than just a phone with a powerful processor, it's a gaming machine designed to perform and, oh yeah, make phone calls too. Asus has packed in Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, along with super-fast memory and storage. But what really sets this phone apart is how it uses all that power. Unlike most phones that slow down after a while, the ROG Phone 9 Pro keeps up its high performance thanks to a huge cooling system and smart thermal engineering. This means your phone won't overheat in the middle of an intense game. Asus has also thought about the gaming experience. You get ultrasonic shoulder triggers, customizable performance modes, and an interface that feels more like a gaming hub than a regular Android skin. And yes, it still has one of the best displays out there, bright, fast, and smooth, so every swipe and tap feels instant. Surprisingly, the camera system is also really good, with a 50MP main sensor and even a telephoto lens, which is more than you typically expect from a gaming phone. The downside? It's big, heavy, and has a bold design that's clearly aimed at gamers. If you're looking for something sleek and subtle, this isn't it. But if you want the smartphone version of a high-end gaming PC, complete with shoulder buttons and cooling that can handle long gaming sessions, the ROG Phone 9 Pro is about as serious as it gets. Number 4. Red Magic 10s Pro is more like a gaming laptop that insists on keeping its cooling fan on full blast. And I mean that literally. This phone actually has a built-in fan. Not the metaphorical "it stays cool under pressure" kind of fan, but an honest-to-goodness spinning at 23,000 revolutions per minute fan that wars away inside the phone to keep the processor chilled. It is the kind of feature that sounds ridiculous until you realize it is why this phone can run the most demanding titles for hours without breaking a sweat. Performance here comes from the Snapdragon 8 Elite as well, but Red Magic squeezes every last drop out of it with aggressive cooling and a dedicated Red Core chip that handles haptics, sound, and touch response. The display is no slouch either. A big 6.8-inch AMOLED that hits up to 144 Hz. And with capacitive shoulder triggers baked into the frame, you do not need any clunky clip-ons to get that console-like feel. Battery life is equally over the top with a massive 7,000 mAh cell that refuels quickly. That makes it one of the few gaming phones where you do not have to choose between performance and longevity. Of course, subtle design is not the Red Magic way. There is RGB lighting, bold lines, and the faint whir of the cooling fan. If you listen closely, it is not trying to blend in. It is trying to announce "I was built to game." The trade-off is that you give up some of the refinement you would get in a mainstream flagship. The camera system is fine but not spectacular, and the software is very gamer-centric. But if you are the kind of player who loves the idea of carrying around a miniature gaming console with its own turbocharged cooling system, the Red Magic 10s Pro might be your dream phone. Now, not everyone wants to carry around a glowing spaceship of a phone just to play a few rounds of PUBG or Genshin Impact. That is where the Number 3. Xiai Poco X7 Pro comes in. A phone that delivers serious gaming chops without the oversized cooling chambers and RGB light shows. Think of it as the practical gamer's choice, or the phone for people who want strong performance on a budget that still leaves room in their wallet for, actual games. The Poco X7 Pro runs on MediaTek's Dimensity 8400 Ultra, which might not sound as flashy as Qualcomm's Elite chips, but in real-world gaming, it holds its own. Paired with a bright, smooth 120Hz AMOLED display, it handles most modern titles without breaking a sweat. The star of the show here, though, is endurance. A 6,000 mAh battery with fast charging means you can grind through long sessions without anxiously eyeing your power bar. And unlike the dedicated gaming phones, the Poco X7 Pro actually tries to look like a normal smartphone. Sleek design, IP68 water resistance, and cameras that will not embarrass you when you step outside of the game lobby. Sure, you will not get built-in shoulder triggers or a turbo fan buzzing away in your pocket, but for the price, you get reliable sustained performance in a device that can double as your main daily driver. If the ROG Phone and Red Magic are like buying a full gaming rig with neon underglow, the Poco X7 Pro is more like a solid mid-range laptop. It may not dazzle, but it quietly gets the job done. And for many people, that balance between cost, performance, and everyday usability is the smartest play of all. Apple never markets its phones as gaming phones, but here's the thing. Every year, the iPhone quietly ends up being one of the best gaming devices you can buy. The number 2. iPhone 16 Pro Max is no exception. Powered by the A18 Pro chip, this thing chews through demanding titles with ease. And while some Android phones lean on active cooling fans or oversized vapor chambers, Apple manages to deliver buttery smooth gameplay with nothing more than clever engineering and ruthless efficiency. What really makes the iPhone stand out for gaming though is consistency. It is not just about hitting high frame rates. It is about holding them without random dips or hiccups. That stability combined with iOS's tight integration with developers means the biggest mobile games are usually optimized to run their best here. You do not need to fiddle with performance modes or toggle secret gamer settings. The phone just works, and it works really, really well. The display is gorgeous. The haptics are subtle but precise, and the audio can fill a room in a way that makes you forget you are gaming on a phone. And if you are someone who records or streams gameplay, the iPhone 16 Pro Max doubles as a content machine with professional-level cameras and a dedicated capture button that makes sharing clips almost too easy. Of course, Apple being Apple, you will not find shoulder triggers, RGB lighting, or a special gaming mode. That is not their vibe. The iPhone's approach is more like saying we do not need the gimmicks because the core experience is already the best. And honestly, for a lot of gamers, especially those who value simplicity and polish, that might be exactly what they are looking for. If the iPhone is all about smooth polish, and the gaming-focused phones are about raw, overclocked power, the number 1. Galaxy S25 Ultra is the do-everything flagship that also happens to crush it in gaming. Samsung has armed this year's Ultra with Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy. And in practice, it delivers blistering performance across the board. Fire up something demanding like Genshin Impact or Warzone Mobile. Crank the settings and the S25 Ultra just shrugs, holding steady frame rates with almost no thermal throttling. The real party trick though is the display. Samsung's panels have been industry-leading for years, but this one takes it up another notch. Massive, bright, and silky smooth with color accuracy that makes every scene pop. It is the kind of screen where even menus look dramatic. And when you are actually gaming, the immersion is hard to beat. Add in stereo speakers that sound bigger than they have any right to, and you get an experience that feels closer to a small tablet than a phone. And while the S25 Ultra is not marketed as a gaming phone, it has tools hardcore gamers can appreciate. The S Pen, for instance, might seem gimmicky in this context, but for strategy titles or annotating maps in real time, it adds a layer of precision you simply do not get elsewhere. Plus, Samsung's battery management has finally caught up to its performance, so marathon sessions do not leave you scrambling for a charger. The best part, unlike the ROG or Red Magic, you do not have to compromise when you step out of the game. The camera system is one of the best in the world. The design is sleek and professional, and the software ecosystem is polished. In other words, it is the phone for people who want a device that can dominate in both the boardroom and the boss fight. If this helped you figure out which one's right for you, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more straightforward tech reviews.